Hello and welcome to the first of our new series of self-profiling guides. The focus of these will be to inform you guys of a variety of money-making and skilling methods in a comprehensive manner.
They will consist of either primarily money making or primarily skilling, or a mix of both, as this guide will be. This guide will teach you how to hunt Grenwalls efficiently for great cash and hunter XP per hour.
However, there are various limitations on how much you can use this method per day, and so on, which we will discuss in much more detail. The main basic requirements for this method are 77 Hunter, completion of the Regicide quest, and a small amount of starting up cash to buy Poya meat, which is needed as compulsory bait to hunt Grenwalls with. Or you can obtain Poyas yourself, in which case you don't even need any cash.
It is recommended though that you have at least level 80 hunter to be able to place 5 traps at once, as well as having a decent success rate. We would highly recommend doing the 2 quests as a first resort and the Grand Tree for a plus 10 hunter boost and access to quick banking and returning respectively.
Neither are essential, however, we would recommend at least level 71 summoning to be able to use an Arctic Bear for a plus 7 invisible hunter boost. At higher hunter and summoning levels, you can also use a yak instead for less trips to the bank. The XP rate is the same, but it is up to personal preference.
If you can't summon an Arctic Bear, you can use a Tort or a Spirit Terrorbird instead, or even a Spirit Pack Pig. Finally, a Bone Crusher is extremely useful because otherwise the bones from the Grenwalls could pile up quickly in your inventory, and an enhanced Yak-to-Wee stick, is that how you say it? Yak-to-Wee stick is also good for the plus 5% hunter XP bonus.
Yeah. You don't need any camouflage clothing because nothing improves your chances of catching these Grenwalls, but you can use a scentless potion from Herbal Habitat if you really want, although it probably isn't worth the time taken to make it.
The main limitation is that you can only catch 300 Grenwalls per day using this method, because it requires the Big Chin D&D to be completed, which you can attend a maximum of twice a day, and it runs every hour. You need 10 points to buy 1 Grenwall ticket, used to catch 1 Grenwall, and you can get a maximum of 1.5k points per session, hence why you can only catch 300 Grenwalls per day.
As a result, you can't no-life this method for XP, but that also means you can gain a hefty 330k Hunter XP a day from between 1.5 to 3 hours of work. More on this analysis later, but now onto the Big Chin Chomper mini guide. To start this D&D, you need to get to this place south of the Gnome Agility course in the Tree Gnome Stronghold, easily accessible from the Spirit Tree. Once you go up, you'll be able to see 6 portals, including the Instance Grenwall portal. Enter Nakiri's portal and wait until the time is at the hour. Then a hole will spawn. Simply enter the hole to get inside the Big Chin Chomper's lair, and firstly go to one of the corners of the room, pick up a flower and wield it. Then all you do is go round clicking on moths and clicking on shaking branches until your jar has 15 moths in it, in which case you go empty it at the center of the room. That's all there really is to it. Just repeat this process until you have the maximum of 1.5k points. You can still stay at 1.5k points because you will still get the XP for emptying the jars, but the XP rate is low and isn't really worth it. At low hunter levels, it takes longer to get 1.5k points before the game finishes, which happens either when enough moths have been fed or 20 minutes have passed. The only real tip would be to go around the room in one direction all the time and try not to waste any time derping around. The flower you wield randomly gets you some extra moths, by the way. Once you are done, you can buy the Grenwall tickets from the guy or his wife next to the portal in the Tree Gnome Stronghold.
Hey guys, welcome to the technique section. Now you need to be at the Mobilizing Armies Bank if you have done the Grand Tree quest for the fastest method to bank, so you might as well start here and make sure you have Ring of Dueling to get back here as soon as possible after you have finished your run at Grenwalls. But anyway, this is all you need in your inventory: 6 box traps, Grenwall tickets, Bone Crusher, Hunter Potion, and fill up your Beast of Burden with full of Poya, and also have Poya for the rest of your inventory. And if you have an Arctic Bear, summon it if you want, I guess, if you're a low level, as we discussed earlier. And if you want to get the plus 10 hunter boost from Ooglog, that's extremely useful as well, in which case you won't need the Hunter Potion because obviously that boost is higher. So you can go to Tree Gnome Stronghold now, and just walk south, or run south rather. I like to search just to save a bit of time. And there's the bank if you're going to use that one if you haven't done the Grand Tree quest, which is a bit slower. But anyway, here is the Grenwall portal. Here's Nikiri's portal where you did the Big Chin minigame. Sorry, D&D. Simply enter the Grenwall portal. This is instance, by the way, but so if there's people here, you can go out and come back in and you can start a new instance. Anyway, I like to use this V over here to lay in my traps because I think that's the best sort of area, but it really does depend on your personal preference as well as where the Grenwalls are at that very particular moment in time. They tend to spawn close to where you are, and they spawn slowly, so they spawn like they take about 30 seconds to 1 minute to fully spawn. As you can see, they're all bunched up here, which is why I like to put that V shape. Anyway, you can start laying your box trap, and you have to use the bait on the box trap, otherwise the Grenwalls won't go into it. And simply repeat the process for 5 box traps if you have a Lady Hunter. Just keep doing it, I guess, and eventually one will be captured in your box trap, as you can see. Now, there's the tips I would like to give you is to use the Poya meat as soon as you see the box trap appear. That will save you like a few milliseconds instead of waiting for you to move out after you do it. Like for example, as you can see, if I'm too slow, I move out and then click on it, which takes a bit longer. And as you can see now, it's much faster if you simply click on it as soon as you do it. You might think this is a bit over the top, but actually it saves you a lot of time in the long run. And also another tip I'd like to give you guys is to go under the box trap. So click under the box trap that's just been closed, and then spam, and then click on it, and then spam the next one, because otherwise you will stand on one side and then take it out. So you have to go back and then click on it and then do the thing, which takes a bit longer as well. So that's another tip I'd like to give you guys. Those are the 2 main tips, to be honest. And also a third tip is obviously to just spam the 6th box trap while the other one is being removed. That will save you a bit of time, which is why I like to take 6 box traps and not 5. If I took 5, I would have to wait for the 5th one to appear in my inventory. So for example, if I take this one out, I have to wait for it to appear and then click on it. So that wastes a bit of time. So that's pretty much all I need to do. The shaking boxes are the ones that are successful. The ones that are not shaking, we'll just say dismantle box trap or something, which are not successful obviously, but and they use up a Poya meat without any success. But the ones that are successful, the ones that say checks shaking box, sometimes they give back Poya meat, like that one as you saw, but that will never happen with ones that are not successful. So just like warning, I guess. And finally, there's a little trick. If you drink the hunter potion, you can instantly lay the trap without any delay. As you saw there, I was too slow to put the Poya meat before I moved away. So that's another tip, and as you can see, it goes really quickly. I already used up my entire inventory. If I had an Arctic bear, then I'd have to bank already, so that's a downside, I guess. That's all there really is to do. I hope you guys enjoy and practice a lot. You have to practice a lot before you master this, and it's really fun because you get a lot of XP, and I like to use my Festa Aura here as well because I can get a lot of XP and use up the entire 50k before the 30 minutes is up, which is one of the few skills I can do that in without wasting any of the 50k XP. Anyway, that's all there is to say. Just a quick reminder where to get the +10 hunter boosts. You simply go to Ooglog, that lodestone over there. If not, then you can use the mobilizing armies teleport and run all the way east into Ooglog, through Ooglog, but here you need to go through a shortcut, unfortunately. So it's simply here, over here, right here. So you just go through this hole, and then you jump over the rocks, and you just go in and jump back straight out, and you'll get a +10 hunter boost. That's pretty much all you need to do. On screen now you can see the XP rates for each of the levels with the familiar suggested. Playing the Big Chin Chomper D&D doesn't give as much XP per hour as hunting Grenwalls does, which is why the overall XP per hour, including the time spent doing Big Chin Chomper, is lower than the pure XP per hour if you just included the time spent hunting Grenwalls. You can also see the huge difference in the number of Grenwalls caught per hour, and neither of XP per hour, cash per hour, or Grenwalls caught per hour vary significantly if you use a yak instead of an Arctic bear, and vice versa, just so you know. It's mostly just a matter of personal preference, really.
The cash rates drop much more extremely if you include the big chin time, which is technically a part of the time spent, but you make zilch during that time. Yeah, you heard that right. You make nada. As you can see, this is amazing cash per hour, and we haven't included the herbs here, which give roughly 100 to 200k extra cash an hour, but can sometimes fill up your inventory pretty quickly. Some people like to bring a herbicide to get rid of the low-level herbs before they clutter up the inventory. You can get an average of 19.5 spikes per Grenwall looted, by the way, and the calculations have been made using the current market prices and subtracting the cost of the poya meat used from the cash gained from the spikes.
So finally we have come to the totals. This method can only be used for a total of 300 Grenwalls looted per day, assuming you only use 1 day's worth of tickets. And because you catch them quicker at higher levels, it can only be done for an hour and a half, including Big Chin Chomper time a day, as opposed to around 2.5 hours or even more at lower levels.
The overall XP is still the same, just gotten over different timescales, and the total number of spikes gotten is also the same because an average of 19.5 spikes can be obtained per Grenwall, and you can only catch 300 a day assuming you use 1 day's worth of tickets, as Zen mentioned.
The interesting thing though is that because you fell less traps if you have a higher hunter level, the amount of meat that gets used up at any level is lower for the same amount of Grenwalls caught if you have a bear than if you don't have a bear. So the overall profit from a day of Grenwall hunting is slightly higher with a bear than with a yak at any particular level, but very slightly. Obviously, if you get the plus 10 hunter boost from the mud baths, it's not even necessary to use a bear since its plus 7 boost is useless.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, whichever you feel more comfortable with is the one we would recommend because having a bear and constantly having to teleport may disrupt your flow, which in the end would result in a lower cash per hour, I would say. Anyway, we hope this guide has encouraged you to use this method, and we also hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. Sorry about this slightly over the top analysis at the end, but what could you say? We got carried away. Me and Zen certainly got into hysterics over this during the editing at 1 a.m. or so. And yeah, if you enjoyed this guide, please be sure to leave a like down below. If you're new here, please be sure to leave a subscription and maybe even a comment telling us that you enjoyed it. And we'll see you guys in the next guide, baby.
Yeah, time to
Bye.
get 99 hunter and make some bank.
Oh, yeah.